Brother Nashi, let me tell you something that might shock even your listeners. I know people come to your channel crying, acting like they are victims, but I am different. I'm writing to you because I am actually happy. I am content as content creation. People talk about the soft life as if it is a curse, but let me tell you, I think that if you are poor, you are cursed. Poverty is a big curse than living a soft life. I am 24 years old. I do come from Polokwane, and right now I am staying here in Dubarn. I don't think that I'll ever return back to Limpopo with the rules that my boyfriend has given to me, because back home my dad is a prophet. So I can't risk going back home and messing up things for my dear boyfriend, who has placed me in a very beautiful, quiet neighborhood. What else do I want? Don't go to work, make more money than most of you will ever make in an entire year. I live a very good life. My own rent house, if I calculate, I don't think that there is anyone from my bloodline that has ever made it in life like the way that I have made it in life. I am not planning on leaving. So my story started when I was still in Polokwane. Life was very difficult. The side effects of poverty, they were so real. We would go to bed almost on a hungry stomach. As for electricity, it was a big challenge. Things got messed up when my dad was fired from work. We could not even afford to buy electricity. That one, I'll keep on repeating it because it hurts me. There was a day when a Zimbabwean guy slept with me for only 30 rand. This 30 rand that he gave to me, I was supposed to buy electricity with it. So it really hurts me, and I made a decision to leave Limpopo. I had a girl already who had came from Polokwane and was staying in Dubarn. She was working, she had a good job. So I was tired of just being poor, and then you go to a tavern and you hope that someone will buy you a cider at a local tavern and sleep with you because that person has maybe bought for you 2 savannas, and then they act as if you owe them sex. I saw some other girls that were enjoying life, especially when my friend came to Dubarn. She then told me that she was now on Insta. As for us, we were Facebook people, like what they say, that Facebook is for villagers and Instagram is for those that are enjoying money. I could not even afford that much data. I only relied on that 20 megabyte that you are given by Cell SIM per day, whereby you view things on Facebook without you even seeing what is happening, just the text, images, and then when there is a picture on a post, you end up asking, what is it all about, guys? I am on free mode. So I had been living on free mode for a very long time. My friend then told me that she was now on Instagram. Whenever I would have some data, I would go and snoop around on her account. The girl, she was on fire. She was living a very good life. She would be eating at the Ark, posing with other friends that she was now friends with here in Dubarn, always shopping at Gateway. And I realized that if I can make it to Dubarn, I was going to become as rich as she was. I was supposed to go back to work after my auntie had told me that the Somalian man that I had once worked for, he wanted me back. He had a small shop in town in CBD in Polokwane. But this guy, I thought that he loved me. I had no idea that Somalians and Ethiopians, this is what they do. When you are working for them, right? If you make the mistake of sleeping with one, then you know that all of them, they are going to sleep with you. I don't know how they just think. When I slept with the boss, the next thing, the brother was supposed to be sleeping with me, then another brother, then a friend. I was now sleeping with many. Somalians, more than I could count, and yet they were giving me focal, and I said I am not going to keep on working, so I refused. He spoke with my auntie and he said that he wanted me to return back to work, and I said to hell with him. Then I thought and I said, this guy, since I opened my legs for him, if I can borrow him money and then I lie to him and I say that I will work whilst you are deducting your salary. I went and I started working for about a week. Then the sleeping discussions began. Hey, I've been missing you, I want you. And I said, please borrow me 5k. He asked me what was the 5k for. I told him that I just wanted to make sure that I buy as many groceries as I can. He can sleep with me like the way that he wants. And he said, okay, it's fine, but 5k, it is too much money. I can't give a woman 5,000. That is too much money. I'm not rich. And I said, how much do you have? And then he told me that he was going to give me 2,700. I then asked my friend and I said, is it going to be enough for me to book a ticket to Joburg, then I go to Dubarn? And then she said, okay, I'm going to give you some more so that at least you can move with money. So I collected the money from the Somalian. The day that he was supposed to sleep with me, lol, he was complaining because he even drank some medicine to make himself go erect. He was calling me and he was like, so what do you want me to do, because I have already prepared? And I said, go and buy mahosha. I am not your lehosha that you can sleep with me whenever you want, and you think that you can destroy my womb like that, drinking pills for me so that you can sleep with me all night. And then I came to Dubarn. When I came to Dubarn, I started staying with my friend. My friend, she was sleeping with married men that had money. We would go to different lounges. That is where I ended up meeting my blesser. I liked him. When he came to our table, he said, ladies, can I sit with you? Because the person that told me to come to this club, she did not show up. She's not picking up my calls. I just want company. Do you have any guys that you are with? And the way that he was so respectful. This meant that he was a gentleman. We started looking at each other. He would smile and he was like, please, can I talk to you? You know, other men, they are so forward, way forward. So much that a man can tell you that I want to sleep with you in front of your friends. But this gentleman, he was different. He said, can I speak with you? I just want to have a word with you. He then told me that he was into me, and I said, me too. We started dating. On that night, we slept with each other. He treated me so nice. He offered to pay my rentals, and he told me not to worry about looking for a job, because I told him that I came to Dubarn so that I can look for a job, and he said that he was going to be there for me. Life moved very well. I started sending money back home until he told me that he did not want me to keep on sending money home. I did not know that by the time that I was sending money back home, I was making his business to go broke, because his money, it comes from an altar, and he is not supposed to give his money to people that pray. When I came from Polokwane, I was going to church, but he stopped me from ever going to church. I moved in with him after he told me that his businesses are not running, and then he explained the situation to me, and I felt so sorry that my baby was going through all of this pain in his business. And I respected him when he said, I want you to block everyone from your family immediately. I did everything that my boyfriend had told me to do. I went and I dumped my Bible that I had brought with me from Limpopo. I threw it into a dustbin. I really did not care at all. He explained the situation to me, and he said, your father is the problem. He is the reason as to why I don't have money. And I said, how so, babe? He then said to me, because your father, he prays at all the times, and whenever he mentions your name, this makes me to experience a lot of bad luck in my life. That is why we have been experiencing bad luck, because the devil is fighting against your father, and your father does not know that the devil has much more strength than God in terms of money. And I said, if my father is the one that is responsible for the poverty that is in the family because of the way that he prays, I'm going to block him. I blocked my dad, I blocked my mother, and I was on a different level. I like it because this man, he can take care of me. Even if I die here in Durban, it's fine. One day we are going to start a family. Those kids are going to become my relative. He then opened up more with me, and then he said, I have a rule that I want you to follow. And in this house, now that you are staying with me, between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., make sure that you do not wake up, you go and you pee. Stay in bed. Even if you hear something, even if you feel that I am not right next to you, please, babe, promise me that you won't get out of bed. And I said, okay, it's fine. So when we go to bed, I always try to set the alarm around 1 a.m. I wake up and I pee in a small bucket. Then I wait for after 5. If I wake up, I wake up. But the entire time, I'll be in bed. Brother Nashim, there are some that will lose their mind with fear whenever you are told that in this household you are not supposed to do A, B, C. But as for me, I feel okay. Maybe it is because of the way that I suffered growing up. I never even smiled financial wise because of the way that my dad was so poor. My boyfriend, soon to be husband, told me, don't come out of the bedroom at night after 3 to 5 a.m. no matter what. Even if you hear people in the house talking, do not come out of the bedroom. So I don't. I do whatever that I am told. But I'm not stupid. I knew that something was happening. There was one day when I saw what my husband does and how he gets his money, he was angry with me and he said, if you ever do that again, I will let it to bite you. And once it bites you, you are going to die. I woke up, it was around 3 a.m. Then I heard a sound. It was something that was moving in the hallway. And then I woke up. When I woke up, I just looked and I saw that there was a room that had the door open. I never had entered in that room. Then I walked slowly, and when I looked into that room, what I saw in that room, it was like out of a Nigerian movie. I saw my boyfriend. He was there, and I saw the source of his wealth. And I watched the ritual. I saw that he was lying down. He was totally naked, but on top of him, on his chest, he had a white rug that was on top of his chest. And I saw a snake that was moving around his body. And this snake, it started to vomit. It started vomiting 200 rand notes. And when it was done, it just disappeared. What shocked me was that when I returned back to the bedroom, I slowly opened the door and I closed it. When I looked back, then I saw that my husband, he was sitting on the bed. He asked me where I had gone to, and I told him that I had been following him after I had woken up and I had heard that there was a sound of a snake that was hissing. So I wanted to know what was happening. So he was angry with me and he told me that it should never happen again. So this is the life that I am living. Brother Nashi, I know that people are going to judge me. They say that I am evil or I'm just a gold digger who sold his soul. But let me tell you the truth. I am okay with it. I would rather live in this house. I would rather choose this house every time, even if God would come down and make me to choose between poverty and living with a man that has a snake that vomits money. Each and every time, without blinking, I would rather choose this man over poverty. One day he told me that we are going to have kids. I am waiting. Even if we do not have kids, I am okay. We can adopt. That is why there is a law that says that one who is wealthy is allowed to do an abortion. I know that most of you are going to say you are trapped, you are staying with a ritualist. Brother Nashi, most of you people, you do paint our husbands and boyfriends as monsters, those that have spoken with those that are in the spiritual realm so that they can get money. When you hear a ritualist, everyone thinks that maybe he's a criminal, a cold-blooded killer. But no, the man that I live with, he is a very good man. Please listen to the story that he told me. He told me his story one night when we were sitting on the balcony. We were just enjoying life. And then he said to me, you know, I grew up in a very poor family and he was being mistreated by the stepmother after the mother had passed away. I wanted your viewers to understand that sometimes a man is a good man irregardless of how he believes, if he believes in God or if he does not. That is why I have decided to stick with him, for he is a good person. He told me about his life back in the township. Before he had all of this money, he grew up in a house that was very painful to live in because he was not allowed to eat at the same time when the stepmom will be eating with her children. He would only eat after they would have finished eating. He told me that he was a brilliant student and he had the brains to be a doctor or to become an engineer, but he had no money for fees. He watched his mother die because they could not even afford a private hospital, and the stepmom would never allow for something like that to happen. He would say to me there were times when he would go to the graveyard and cry that he wished that the mother would return back and assist him in life, how his mom was buried in a cheap coffin. He told me that he then went to a traditional healer, and when he went to a traditional healer through his business partner, then he was assisted and he was told to sacrifice, and these are the sacrifices that he make. Sometimes he goes out there and he gives money to the poor people, but he refused to tell me what happens to those poor people. He just helps people that are very poor. So I want your listeners, those that are judgmental, to understand that my man, he is a good man. He will become the father of my children one day. He is kind, he is gentle. He treats me better than any other guy that I have been with in my entire life. I have dated men that are so-called Christians, but they have mistreated me, cheated on me. Not this guy. He will never cheat. Even from the day when I met him at the lounge, I could tell it in his eyes that he is a good man who just wants to be with a good woman. I have decided that I am going to be his queen. I am going to build the empire with him. I will be by his side until death do us apart. And for the comfort and all the money that he has given to me, I will stand by him. South Africa, I have decided. He is a man that is very brave. He took his destiny into his own hands. And I don't see a ritualist. When I look at him, I see a father, I see a provider, I see a husband material with all that a woman can ever want. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message from one of our dear sister who is saying that she sees everything that each and every woman can ever want. Let us speak with him in the comment section. I'll be back with another episode.